welcome back to the Coach's Perspective here on Riverside TV as we are entering Week 10, and a lot of playoff implications are coming in this Friday night. And I'm Jeff Gorham, and once again, joined by my man in the booth, my friend, Ghazal Hassan. How you doing today, Ghazal?
Jeff, you know what I like to say? HPI, heavy playoff implications, is my tribute to Heavy D and the boys. So Week 10, a lot of implications for playoffs, a lot of games, in essence, league championship games for playoff berths.
Yeah, last year we had 6 teams, I believe, made the playoffs, and in fact, all 6 teams won the first round.
Hillcrest didn't. Hillcrest didn't. They lost the first round. Don't tell Travis. I don't want Travis mad at me, but they did not win.
All righty, but hey, let's talk about some of the teams that are going to make the playoffs, and where do you think they're going to end up in the CIF playoffs? Let's start first with the defending state champions, the Ramona Rams, River Valley League.
First of all, Jeff, it's not what I think; it's what the ratings think. I just take the Cal Prep ratings and I put them in, and then we kind of do the same formula as the CIF, but of course, I can't get in the heads of the CIF committee because they do some strange things every once in a while. But my best projection right now has Ramona at the top of Division 7, and probably among some other teams that are in that vicinity. Ramona, Vista del Lago, Warren, El Toro, even Citrus Valley might be in that mix, depending on how some of the other things go. But yeah, I expect Ramona to be the number 1 seed out of the River Valley, probably in the top 4 somewhere in Division 7.
All right, let's stay in the River Valley League and talk about Norte Vista. Ken Batdorf's team should go 9-1 on the season. Where do you see them placing?
Jeffrey, as Erwin M. Fletcher once said, they were in kind of a gray area. How gray? Charcoal. No, I'm kidding. I see them either at the top of Division 9 or when I say top, top 4 or 5 seeds, or the bottom 8 and probably between 8 and 9. So I had them, my latest projection has them as the number 1 seed in Division 9, but if they ended up in Division 8, I would not be shocked.
Now, your thought process, do you think that Norte Vista is in a better situation after losing that game to Ramona, or do you think it didn't really matter that much?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, right? Because what their rating is hovering somewhere around 5. I think they've been between 4.3 and 4.7, in that 5 range, which squarely puts them in that 8-9 range. What would that win have done? Maybe push them closer to 6. So I don't know that changes things all that much. But did it have an effect? Obviously, if you're the league champ, it bumps you up a little bit. But I don't think it made that is not that huge of a difference for them. I thought they're squarely on that 8-9 line.
All right, let's stay one more team in the River Valley League. They might be just outside of our boundaries, but they still, are considered. At one time, they were Riverside, and that would be Patriot. What are Patriot's odds, and where do you see them landing?
Patriot, if they get the number 3, that should be a good game against Ramona. I believe, where do I have them right now? Patriot. I'm looking for Patriot. If they're the auto out of that, I have them right now as the number 10 seed in Division 11. So some other teams in Division 11, just to give you an idea, Rim of the World, I think, could end up in D11. Chino could end up in D11. Colton, San Gorgonio, our friend Chris Chaddock. So that could be a pretty good league in terms of the IE, in terms of inland San Bernardino, Riverside County area teams.
All righty, let's jump over to Martin Luther King. What are their chances? They've stumbled a couple times here in the last couple weeks. Are they going to make the playoffs?
Say it for me first, Jeff.
McBain's.
Okay, thank you. I squarely had them before last week. We obviously did their game on Friday against Marietta Mesa. I had them squarely in D7. I think the loss, now they're potentially going to have to squeeze in as an at-large, will put them in Division 8, probably in the top half of Division 8. I have them right now as the 5 seed in Division 8, matching up against Quartz Hill in the first round. And Division 8, again, could be another good league for some of the teams out, towards the eastern Inland Empire Desert. West Valley could end up there. Great Oak, because Great Oak and Martin Luther King are playing. that could end up being, that's going to end up being for that three spot, the 3 AQ out of the Big West lower, Rancho Mirage in that vicinity as well. So that could be a really good division, maybe 4 or 5 teams from our area getting into that division.
All righty. Well, we know CSDR is going to make the playoffs. They're number one always. They're probably going to, trounce through this next state championship, make it 3 in a row. But let's talk about probably the last possible team in Riverside to make or has a chance to make the playoffs. And we have them Friday night, and that is Hillcrest, and they are going to play Valley View. How important is that game?
It's important. I think with their rating, they could probably get in, because I think of the teams that wouldn't be the AQs, those 3 Riverside teams, they're the highest rated team right now. Even though they lost to Poly, they're rated ahead of Poly right now in the Cal Prep rankings. I had them as an at-large in Division 10 as the 16 seed, but they could easily be at the top of Division 11 as well. And I talked to Travis Carter earlier today. A win is a big thing for them, because if they can win against Valley View, it puts them in the mix of that whole tiebreaker. It could end up coming to a coin flip. If Riverside Poly can win and Hillcrest can win, it would be a coin flip between Valley View, Riverside Poly, and Hillcrest, because they would all be 2 and 3 for that number 3 spot out of the Sun Belt, which I like to call the Fun Belt. But also, I think an extra team could get in at large, potentially, if it's Valley View or if it's Hillcrest, because of the rating. So right now I have them, we're looking at D11, D12 potentially for Hillcrest, and probably if Poly can sneak in, the same for them, a D11, D12 opportunity. And you never know. Once you get in, as we found out with Ramona last year, it's all about the matchups.
Well, Gazal, we will have all of this stuff squared away by Friday night when we're hosting the Friday night Jeff rally. No Pep Fernandez this week, but you and I will be. Yeah, you and I will be in studio, and we're going to go over all the leagues. We'll talk about, who finishes first, second, and third. But before we get to that, let's jump into our Friday night game of the week, which we just mentioned, Valley View versus Hillcrest. How good is this Valley View team? I know you've talked to the coach. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, you've watched them. I mean, the advantage they have, Jeff, they played some really good You look at their schedule. They played some very, very good teams. They have speed on the outside. The one thing that may work against them, they got a lot of guys on both sides. Their starting quarterback, also starting on defense. A couple of their offensive linemen also have to play defense. So that's the one thing, if you're playing a ball control game, maybe fatigue, it's week 10, you never know. But, they're very well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to make mistakes. They like to. It's funny. I was talking to Coach Eric Martinez, the head coach, and he was telling the same joke. He's a defensive guy. He likes to run the ball. His offensive coordinator, who's also like his best friend, Coach Esquivel, likes to throw the ball. It's always a back and forth with them. And so remember last week, although Hillcrest lost, they did force 3 turnovers. They got 3 interceptions. They're a little bit shorthanded on offense, but they play defense very well. And if they can capitalize on some mistakes, it could be a game. I think it's going to be a good game either way. I think Hillcrest is going to come out despite whoever they're missing. They will always come out and play hard. Travis Carter and his staff do a great job. Coach Mason, Coach Noor, and the rest all do a fantastic job in terms of getting that team prepared. And, hey, they know it's for the playoffs, Jeff, and you know how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, they missed their starting quarterback, their starting running back for the last couple games. It's always the next man up. Could that next man be Mr. Richards? How good has he been in the short amount of time he's been with Hillcrest?
Yeah, Josiah Richards has been great, and it's helped. That's one of the things Coach Carter mentioned to me. He goes, people are locked in on Julian Sandoval and Juju Sandoval right now, but now because of Richards' emergence and because Nicholas Shaw is kind of stepping up, they have some alternatives. Unfortunately, they haven't had Matt Ramos the last couple of weeks to throw the football.
All right, Gazal. Well, it's always great checking in with you. We will see you Friday night. What are you doing tomorrow night on All Hallows Eve?
I'm going to stay as far away from the trick-or-treaters as possible. No, it's going to be a weird day. It's an off day. I would say watch the World Series, but tomorrow's an off day, hopefully in the World Series. Hopefully we get Game 6 and 7 in Los Angeles. But I did want to mention Kyle Owens from UC Riverside. His story has been out there on ESPN and a number of other outlets. If you can, get tested for that, if you're the match. Bone marrow transplant, correct? That's what he needs.
That is exactly what he needs. In fact, I've been in close contact with Kyle Owens during his entire ordeal, and he needs help more than anybody in the world right now. And he's one of the nicer men. I'm sure it
Yeah.
will happen. I offered to give anything I could, but they said I was tainted and too old. So if you are under the age, if you're under the age of 40, reach out, find out through UC Riverside, go to GoHighlanders.com, get the thread, and find out how we can help Mr. Kyle Owens, one of our dear friends and one of the great ambassadors of Riverside here in basketball. All righty. Well, we will be back here in a few moments with more here on the Coach's Perspective on Riverside TV. And welcome back to the Coach's Perspective here on Riverside TV, as we are now joined by the head coach of the Hillcrest Trojans, the great Travis Carter. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing well, Jeff. How you doing, man? Appreciate you having me on again.
I'm always doing well. Hey, we got Halloween coming up, and we have a big game. It'll be at your place. Actually, it'll be in Arlington, as you're going to play Valley View in the final game of the league that you've just joined. How are you feeling? I mean, this is a big game for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely huge game. The winner obviously is going to have, Valley View wins, they're in. We win, we got a better shot of getting in. So it's huge. It's do or die, and hopefully we come out there and play like we're supposed to and do what we're supposed to do.
Now let's talk about that scenario. You said, now if you win, is it become a three-way tie, and is that like a coin flip situation?
Yeah, I don't know, Jeff. I mean, I just know we got to win. So, the rest of the stuff, the coin flips and the draws and playoff stuff, I'll leave all those predictions up to Ghazal, but we just know we got to win. We got to play good football. We got to get back in the winning column after the last couple of weeks.
Now, Coach, it's been kind of an up and down year. You've lost your star quarterback and your great running back, but guys have really stepped up in their place. What are your thoughts? How's your team feel right now going into tomorrow or Friday?
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously injuries are a part of football. We've had some, key guys go down, but other guys have been stepping up. In particular, I think our defense has really played well last couple of weeks, keeping us in some games. Zaya Guerrero and Noah Mayweather have been playing outstanding on defense. Robert Bustamani's been playing outstanding on defense. So hopefully this week we can, get back to moving the ball, scoring some points on offense, and, put together a complete game.
Now, Coach, what are your thoughts on Valley View? What do they do well, and what do you need to be concerned with?
Yeah, Valley View is a really good team. They're extremely fast. They're physical. They're well coached. They play hard. So another tough matchup. This has been a tough league week in and week out, and it's been a good thing. It's been competitive football games. That's what you want to play. So we're excited for it, and hopefully we're ready for it.
Well, it all comes down to this. I can't believe we're already 10 weeks into this thing, Travis. Now, how different has the league felt being in the league you're in now compared to the River Valley League from last year?
Yeah, obviously it's an adjustment, new teams, even just new travel, to different areas and, different schools. But I think overall it's been good. Almost top to bottom, every game's been competitive in the league. Even Arlington has, been in a bunch of really close games. Before us, they're in a one-score game with Rancho Christian where they battled back. So I think overall the quality of football has been good, and I think it's been a good thing for the kids.
Well, Coach, I know you're busy and you're right in the middle of practice or just finishing, but it has been a pleasure covering you all season long. Ghazal and I will have the goal on Friday night. It'll be 7 p.m. at Arlington High School. That seems to be your home away from home so far this year.
Yeah, we've had a couple homes this year. So, we've been lucky enough to get a couple games in over at Arlington, and then obviously a couple over there at Norte Vista. But,
well,
you're always covering us, Jeff.
Hey, no problem. Now, here's my big question. La Sierra is getting a stadium, I guess, next year. When is the Hillcrest Trojans getting their own stadium?
You know what? I don't know. That's way above my pay grade, Jeff. So, if you could find some information out on that, I'd love to hear it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do whatever I can to raise some money. Heck, we put you on every week. That should cover the cost in itself, right?
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully one day down the road. In the time being, we're fine. We'll travel every week. We get to play high school football, so that's good enough.
Okay, Coach. Well, Travis, it's been, like I said, it's been a pleasure covering you all season long, and we will have you for the season finale as our game of the week, as you're going to take on Valley View. Gasol and I will be on the call. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on Friday night. Hope you make the playoffs.
Hey, appreciate you guys, Jeff. Thank you. You guys do a great job.
All right, he's Travis Carter, and he has a big one Friday night against Valley View. And when we come back, we'll have the great Pep Fernandez to finish up the coach's perspective here on Riverside TV. And welcome back to my favorite part of the show, the part with that little guy, my partner in crime, the great Pep Fernandez. How are you today, Pep?
Oh, just being a little guy over here, Jeff. I've told you this. I'm 5'11", at least, with shoes on. Come on, man.
You are 5'2" at tops, my friend. 5'2".
If Jason McMains and I were in a basketball game, I would post him up. That's how tall I am.
Well, he's about as tall. He goes up to my knees, so that really doesn't matter. Well, Pep, we're in week 10 already. Can you believe it's almost finished?
No, I can't, man, because I feel like summer is a little deceiving, right? It's hot for so long. It feels like it can't be that deep into the football season, but this is actually our first, weather-wise, our first kind of chilly week of football, our first week where it kind of feels like football season. So I think just the hot temperatures, it was so hot all season long. It's kind of deceiving that we're this deep into the season. Yeah, but here we are, man. There's so much to play for here in week 10, league championships, playoff spots. I know the brackets will come out on Sunday, which we're all looking forward to. So yeah, at least for me, man, it has flown by, but I think the weather is partially the issue.
Now, before we get in, we talked to Gasol earlier. We also had Travis Carter on, but let's talk about the area in the Inland Empire. What are some of the juicy matchups that we have going into week 10?
All right, so there's a couple games that are just straight out league championship games where two teams are tied for first place and the winner will be the league champion outright. One of them is right here in the Fun Belt League, the Sun Belt, right? I know we've got Hillcrest versus Valley View on Riverside TV, and that's a hugely important game. But for the league title, Rancho Christian's playing Hemet straight up for the league championship. That is a league championship game, so the winner will be the Sun Belt League champ. We've got a couple more in the Ivy League. Rancho Verde and Orange Vista. That's going to be an awesome game. We'll have highlights of that one Friday night on the Jeff Rally. Yes, I said that. The Jeff Rally on Friday night. And we'll also have highlights of the other true league championship game, and that's Canyon Springs versus Moreno Valley for the Inland Valley League Championship. So another scenario where two teams are undefeated, tied for first place, and the winner of the game will be the league champion and the number one seed out of their league going into the playoffs. So we'll have highlights of that one too Friday night on Riverside TV on the Jeff Rally. So we got some great games, man, for league championships on the line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pep. Yeah, it is going to be a great night because you're not going to be there. I shouldn't say that. It'll be an okay night without you being there. But but Pep, before we let you go, what are you doing on Halloween?
Nothing. In fact, I'll probably be at a high school football game somewhere doing what I do for the Jeff Rally.
Well, you're almost an empty nester. I know you have a daughter in college and you have a daughter who is getting ready probably to go to college soon. But you're gonna bypass Halloween and go out and watch high school football.
That's how much high school football means to me. More than costumes, more than all that delicious candy, which I'm a Kit Kat guy. If anyone's watching and they want to donate some candy to the Friday Night Pep Rally. But yeah, man, high school football, it means more to me than everything else, even a big juicy Kit Kat. So yeah, I'm all in on high school football, even if it falls on October 31st. Are there Kit Kats in there? Oh, I see a Twix. I can be a Twix guy. That's
there's
fine.
Kit Kats. Hey, we just spent like $8,000 at Costco buying candy, but no, there's Kit Kats, Snickers. I got it all, Pep. I give away great candy. If you're a good kid in my neighborhood, I give full-size candy bars.
Man, look at you.
Yeah. You know what I give to? You know what I give to kids that are mean to me though?
No, I have no idea.
Piles of kitty litter.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, they say trick or treat, and then if they say trick, I trick them.
You get the old kitty litter treat.
You get the old kitty litter clump. Well,
Ugh.
Pep Fernandez, before we let you go, we got to talk about the Boost Top 25. Any movement in the Boost Top 25?
Not really, Jeff. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but they are who we thought they were. I mean, I think maybe the only big surprise the last couple of weeks has been the rise of Rancho Christian, but they've had a lot of, guys transfer in, and it's not a big shock that because of their quarterback and their star receiver, Cameron Jones, that they've got a shot to win that Sun Belt League title against Hemet. So I think that's going to be a great game. But other than that, no, they are who we thought they were. And the rankings haven't really changed a whole lot the last couple of weeks.
All right. Well, we know that CSDR is ranked number 1 in the top 1 8-man football.
Sure are. They're not going to lose that spot either. I'm pretty confident in that.
Well, Pep, it's always great seeing you. We're going to miss you on Friday night, kind of. But every Thursday night we have the Inland Sports Machine, the show. What time does it start?
No, Jeff, it's Wednesday night. You don't even know anymore these days. It's Wednesday night, 7:05 first pitch. We will be live and amplified tonight, including we're going to have Grand Terrace star Xavier Oliver, who had a monster game against San Gorgonio last week.
All right, Pep, you are fantastic. You're my best pal. We got some big news we're going to share later on, I think, on the Pep Rally. So look out for it. We'll discuss it next time we get together in studio.
You got it. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. In fact, I might put it on social media too. So make sure you follow Jeff and I on social media. I'm going to put something out there.
Yeah, I think tonight you can put it out. I just want to save it for your show. So tune in to the Inland Sports show tonight to hear our big news, and hopefully everybody be excited.
They better be. You're getting us, whether you like it or not.
Well, he's Pep Fernandez, and I'm Jeff Gorham. And that'll do it for the Coach's Perspective here on Riverside TV. He's Pep, I'm Jeff. Good night, everybody.